This is a battle reports vid as well as a what I got for trade over the weekend vid. So on Saturday I went to a battle roads in Hillsborough, North Carolina. It was a relatively small battle roads. There were only 8 in the Masters division, so we only ended up playing 3 rounds. I went 1 and 2, lost my first 2 games, won my last one, so I ended up coming in 7th out of 8th place. So wasn't really happy about that. Just felt like my deck could have done better. The 2 games that I lost, I just could not pull any supporters whatsoever, and just could not pull enough basics to keep me alive long enough to be able to get those supporters. My first game was against a Gengar deck, and after she beat me, we played again just for fun, and I beat her in the second game. The second game I was actually able to pull out just a couple of supporters, so it was like, well, with a reasonable hand, my deck could do the job against it. Second game was against a Lux Chomp deck, and the only way my deck can really beat a Lux Chomp deck is if it moves extremely fast, if I can get amazing setups in the beginning, and without my third Claydol line, I pretty much knew that wasn't going to happen. However, I was hoping I'd last at least a little bit longer than I actually did. It really didn't go well. Again, couldn't pull any supporters, any trainers that would help me, and not enough basics. I think I had 2 basics, and so match was over again within 10 minutes. So wasn't really going well for me. My last game was against a Mewtwo level X deck, and I was finally able to get a couple of supporters and trainers that I needed, and was able to use them to get out my Claydolls, which I was able to use to get out the rest of my Pokemon, and I ended up winning that one. So again, came 7th out of 8th. So I wasn't planning on going to another Battle Roads today since I had to work. I ended up getting a call from my coworker actually during the tournament on Saturday saying that our boss was making us split the shifts to save him money. And so I figured, well, if I'm going to have to give up some of my hours at work, I might as well turn that around and use it to play some Pokemon. So I was able to work the morning and then go straight to the second tournament, the second Battle Road tournament in Morrisville, North Carolina, that afternoon. This was a much bigger turnout. There were 21 people in the Masters division, and we ended up going for 5 rounds. I still didn't do as well as I hoped I would. A guy at the a guy at the tournament on Saturday gave me a couple of Claydolls, and then in the mail when I got back on Saturday, I got the Claydol that I had traded for from Abbey Roar in. So I was able to add the 3/3 Claydol line into my deck, so I was pretty excited about that. So that did help speed my deck up quite a bit, but again, the games that I lost, I just really couldn't get the supporters that I needed to be able to do anything, and so I had to keep passing and passing and passing turns until I was just knocked out. So my first game was against another Lux Chomp deck. I'm really sick of seeing those. I think they're just really overused. Anyways, so didn't do well against that one. My second deck was against another Blastoise deck. Again, no supporters, so I wasn't able to get set up, and game lasted under 10 minutes, I think. We played again after that, though, just for fun, and I won that one. So again, it was kind of frustrating knowing that my deck could win if I had gotten 1 or 2 supporters to get it going, and but I just couldn't pull them, and so pretty much wasn't really able to put up much of a fight. Third game was against a Jump Pluff deck, which I was able to easily knock out with Blastoise's 100 Sniper. And my fourth game was against a Vespiquen deck. Expert Belts were his downfall. So it was a longer game at least, but still a pretty good game. My last pair up, for some reason, even though I was 2 and 2, I was paired up with someone that was 3 and 1. And he had a kind of a weird Torterra level X with a Honchkrow deck. Worked out really well though for him, and again, I could not get any trainers or supporters that I could use, and had to pass on probably half of my turns. So game lasted a little while longer than the previous ones that I lost, but still went by relatively fast, and I did lose that one. Another good thing though about that pre-release, or I keep saying pre-release, that Battle Roads, is that I won one of the raffles, and so I got these really cool Garchomp sleeves. And one thing I noticed when I shuffle my deck is that my Mysterious Treasure sleeves tend to stick to each other. I don't know if that's because they, when they sit in the car, traveling back and forth, if the heat kind of makes them stick together, or if that's just the sleeves. But I'm thinking about maybe transferring them to these sleeves just because they're slickier, and hopefully maybe I'll get some better shuffles in and be able to get the trainers. And hopefully this week I'll also be getting more Communications and Roseanne's in, so I'll be able to add those to my deck as well to help speed it up a bit. But there's another Battle Roads in Apex on Saturday, and so I have that day off from work, so I think I'm going, after I make assuming I get the cards in that I need, and make my changes, I think I'm going to go try again and see if I can't do a little better. Today I ended up placing 17 out of 21, so still better than being right there at the bottom, but still wasn't quite happy for it. I was really hoping to get something, kind of in the middle range.